Hey guys, it's me, Holly Madison. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am continuing my reaction series to Girls Next Door. We are on season 4, episode 13, House Bunnies. I get a lot of requests for this episode. It's about the movie House Bunny, obviously. If you'd hit the like and subscribe, I'd really appreciate it. And let's get going with the episode. So this episode is a bit of a standalone. If you watch it on a streaming service like Tubi or in the DVDs, it's a part of season 4. And it was shot during the season 4 timeline. It was shot in summer of 2007 when the movie House Bunny was being filmed. But they saved it for a full year later so it could come out when the movie was premiering. So it aired in August of 2008. And it aired as actually the first episode of season 5. But it aired like a whole month before like the rest of season 5 did. So it's really a standalone episode. But you will find it in the season 4 section of the streamers of the DVD. Okay, so the cold open is all of us piling into Hef's bed to watch a movie, which is really rare. Like the three of us wouldn't have really done that to watch a movie. It shows us doing it a couple times on the show, but I can't remember when we would have done that unless it was like to see a Girls Next Door rough cut or something that pertained to us. Like Kendra and I used to watch Sopranos with Hef every Monday night, but that was about it. And of course, Hef and I would watch movies pretty regularly. So this is a setup thing for the show, and what they're showing us is an old movie from the 40s or 50s with Lana Turner, where they filmed it at the Playboy Mansion. And the funny coincidence was Lana Turner's character was called Holly, and when she walks out of the car, they go, "Welcome home, Holly." So I thought that was kind of funny. And they put my head over her body in this show. Oh, the movie was actually made in the 60s, but it looks very old school. It has like that late 40s, 50s look. So it's interesting, I'm watching this on Tubi, and in the opening credits where we're bobbleheads, they've changed it for season 5, even though we're still in season 4, according to the streamers. But on the DVDs, they haven't changed it yet. They bumped this episode back to season 4, but they didn't change the opening. But you can see they change, like, what did they put in my room? When they cut the bobbleheads so that we're in our individual rooms, they add stuff to it. Like for mine, they added a director's chair and some magazines on the floor, like to show that I was into photo editing. Bridget gets a little pink TV set and a microphone and a beach ball and a drink and a beach chair, which was all about her Bridget's Sexiest Beaches show. So they added that in after the fact. And I think they changed her whole head. Like I think her whole head is a different head than they had before for her. I think all of our heads are different. They took the heads, the first heads they used were from our first Playboy photo shoot. We were shooting the scene that was built in the studio to look like Hef's bedroom. And Kendra had like this hairdo like piled up on her head, but some of her hair was still down. And I had like this blowout that I thought looked like a old newscaster, and I hated it. But anyway, I could tell that the pictures were taken that day because of it. But they've switched our heads to pictures that were taken on a promo shoot for season 1. Like in that promo, I'm wearing like an Argyle sweater. I don't know. I'll cut the pictures in. And Kendra, there's a picture of her black Escalade on the wall, but they put RIP on it because at one point during 2008, her car got stolen. And they gave her turntables, I think because she was doing a lot of like nightclub appearances. She was never a DJ, but I think they gave her that because to like reflect the nightclub appearances, I don't know. And a lot of speakers. So Kendra's a DJ. And they added a bunch more people around us. Like you see Mary and Norma from The Office, Joe Piastro from security, and a bunch of playmates. I can't really tell who they are. Like it looks like maybe Valerie and Kayla. They changed our bobbleheads on the end too when we're standing with Hef, and I don't like my new bobblehead picture as much as I did the old one. And I still can't tell who the girls are. It's moving too fast. I think maybe it's like Valerie, Laura Croft. I don't know. Fill me in if you know. So Mary walks in to give us the script for House Bunny. And I said, "Mary, I like your top. Let me borrow that top." And everybody laughs. And "Let me borrow that top" was a reference to this artist on MySpace named Kelly. And Kelly would do like these funny songs. One was called Let Me Borrow That Top and one was called Shoes. Does anybody remember those? But me and Stacey Burke were super into it, and like Let Me Borrow That Top was a thing. I'm still very much in my hair pulled back in a bun, no makeup or minimal makeup look, and that was kind of my hallmark for all of season 4. I'm like not even trying in the appearance department, and I think in a way that's a positive thing because it shows my confidence because I'm working at the studio now and that's kind of all I care about. But it's also a TV show. I could have stood to make a little effort, but that all changes in season 5, so we'll get there. And then it cuts to me in an interview and I say, I'm playing myself in the movie, so I'm not really concerned with how I'm gonna be portrayed. And that's weird because it should be the opposite. But I think at this point, I was just so used to like me being taken and done whatever with by the show that it was kind of like, what can I do about it anyway? So the girls don't want to say we're having a pillow fight in the movie, and it cuts to this footage of us having a pillow fight for a Playboy photo shoot with like 70s porn music. In one of the interviews, I'm wearing this whack outfit. It's like a Playboy zip-up sweater, which is cute, and it's sleeveless, but underneath it, I'm wearing like one of those things that cheerleaders wear when it's cold out, like those long-sleeved undergarments. And that's probably what that was. That's probably like an old cheerleading thing. Oh my God, they brought professional dog actors to be in the movie. So Sarah Underwood and I went out to go say hi to them, but then people got pissed because I guess we're like throwing the dogs off. My hair is a crispy critter in this scene. I'm also in psycho mode in my cheerleader sleeve interview where I'm smiling through everything I say because I'm so paranoid they're gonna make me look like a grumpy bitch. So instead I look like a psycho bitch. I can't with their fetish with Bridget and food because it shows me looking at the dogs and then Bridget comes out and she's like, I'm looking for snacks. Where's the craft service? I mean, they did that purposely because I'm a foodie too. I think I have that low dopamine thing, like that food addict low dopamine thing where food just sends me because I think I'm more enthusiastic about food than the average person. But they never show that, ever. It's always Bridget with the food, which just is proof how deliberate all this is. Just like it's deliberate how they always would cut my resting bitch face to look like I'm dogging somebody. They could have done that to anyone, but they only did it to Bridget like a couple times in the series, and they never did it to Kendra. So there you go. So I read in some interview that Anna Faris came up with the idea for this movie because she was watching Girls Next Door and she thought, what would happen if one of these girls, just the way they are on the show, was plopped into the real world and kept acting like that? Like, what would happen? So that was what gave her the idea for the show. And you can totally tell her character is completely based on Bridget. Everything from having a cat to the bedroom that she's in, to the clothes she's wearing, to the hairstyle. It's very unmistakable. I say I was curious to see what the movie was going to look like because I am a slut for art direction. Like, I love a beautiful movie. Or it doesn't even have to be beautiful. It could just have a look. Like the art direction of Joker was like grungy and grimy, but I just love a good art direction. Like, that's my favorite thing in the world. Oh my God, in the commentary of this, Kendra kept saying that she thought she looked fat in this scene and that other people told her she looked fat in this scene. Who? That was rude because she does not. I'm going to check and see if I still have this bikini. You guys, I know I've talked about this before, but I hate it how some of the stuff from my archive is missing and it makes me so mad. I know somebody took a box somewhere. Hope they're having fun with it. But I have half of my bathing suits that I wore on Girls Next Door and the other half are missing. It's random. Like, who would even want that? But let me go see if I have my House Bunny bikini. I don't have it. How annoying. That bikini was like one of the ones I designed for like the Girls Next Door bikini line we were supposed to do and never did. But then they ended up using one of my designs in the regular Playboy line anyway, and that annoyed me because I didn't get credit. I didn't keep my dress from the movie either. I think because it was just like a really cheapo dress. And when I was going through my stuff at one point and purging stuff, I think I might have got rid of it thinking, oh, this is just a cheapo dress I never wore anywhere. Like sometimes I would forget. But there is stuff I know I would never have thrown away that is missing. So this is the episode where Kendra goes into Mary's office and she's like, what's up, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up, Mary? I feel like that one gets like cut and played in a bunch of different things. And then I'm wearing this weird zip up top in the scene with Hef, and it has like these puff sleeves. I officially don't have anything I wore in this episode, and I'm not happy about it. So then they show us doing a tour of the Sony lot, which is the old MGM studios, and that was super fun. They have like a rainbow there now, like this big structure of a rainbow for Somewhere Over the Rainbow, but they didn't have it back then. But it's a very cool tour. You get to see a lot of cool old Hollywood stuff. I have the red Louis Vuitton evening purse from this show. That's it. Okay, so we're talking about ADR voiceover. And to this day, when someone says ADR, I think additional dick ramming, because that's what people were saying, oh, what does that stand for? And I joked and I said additional dick ramming, and that's all I can think about. It really stands for automatic dialogue replacement, but I always think additional dick ramming. And then they have this meta moment where Hef is walking out the door, and it's a voiceover of him going, I'm doing a voiceover. And when we arrive at the Sony studio, it's funny because the music they put in the background, you can tell that's what they thought was like old Hollywood music. The scene he's doing ADR for is a scene where he's calling Shelly, Anna Faris's character, and she's like hair back in like an Argyle sweater, like that's her like nerdy look. And I feel like she looks like Bridget through all of the movie, except when she turns into a nerd. I feel like that's when she looks like me. And then there's this odd scene where it cuts to Kendra's confessional, and she goes, I even jumped in and gave him some of my advice. And then she goes, and I wonder why they left that in there. It was so weird. The soundstage we went into is the soundstage where they did Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So that's totally crazy. And everybody always asks me what it was like to work on this movie. And I just say it was great. Like, I have no complaints. Like, everything was totally professional and fun. And Anna was super nice and friendly. And we still get residuals from it. Like, a very different experience from doing a reality show, that's for sure. And it's so funny, like the music they play in the background when we're in the soundstage, you can tell it's like the closest generic thing they could find to Somewhere Over the Rainbow. So screening movies at the mansion was really special because we always got movies that were only out in theaters. And this was back before, you know, people would release a movie in the theater and to streaming services at the same time. So it was really cool. And the way they used to do it was somebody would bring up like 2 film cans full of film to put in the projector, and they would have to send like security with it. So it was like a whole ordeal. I forget what it was called. It was like the Bel Air movie circuit or something like that, where people would pay to get like the first run movies brought to their house. So Bridget and I are both wearing red, very matchy. And I just know how like we don't coordinate this usually. It's just like how our brains work. We always like to theme stuff. So I know we were both thinking Sony lot where they shot Wizard of Oz, ruby slippers, and we end up picking red. Like, I just know that's what happens. I don't know why it's funny to me, but it shows us at the Sunday buffet and Kendra's wearing sunglasses at the table, and I don't know why that's funny to me. I say this all the time in these reactions, but I love the buffet nights. Like, those were so cozy to me, and I just feel like when I watch the buffet nights, those are the scenes where I'm like, oh, that was a nice day. Oh my God, I can't look. They show the scene where the cat claws the butler's chest, and he was wearing like a fake chest, but I still I can't even look at it because I just picture like claws going into the skin. Okay, best and worst about that episode. Worst is that I don't have any of the clothes from this episode, and that bugs me. And also worst is in the last scene, we're watching a movie and you can see this baby blue Playboy blanket that's on me and Hef. And for some reason, seeing that blanket triggered me. Like, I don't have bad memories necessarily associated with the blanket, but I just remember that Playboy used to make those blankets, and there were pink ones and blue ones, and we had them. And for some reason, seeing it just triggered me. I don't know why. Best part, I think, was just reliving like a fun project that we got to be part of. And we loved doing the Sony Studio lot tour, so it was fun. So I will see you guys next time, the next episode. Oh, the next episode's an interesting one. I got a lot to talk about, so I'll see you then.